Step Up English. Take the next step to fluency.
Unit 7. Lesson 3. Reading. Life in space. Objectives. To read about life on the International Space Station. To identify new vocabulary in a text. Where do astronauts live? How do they sleep? How do they eat in space? On the International Space Station. In sleeping bags. They eat special meals. Vocabulary. Float. Muscle. Gravity. Pull. Sleeping bag. Reading time.
Life in space. What's life like on the International Space Station, the ISS? NASA astronaut Scott Kelly tells us. Scott wakes up early and checks his schedule on his computer. The astronauts on the ISS have a schedule for every day. Today, the unmanned Dragon spacecraft is arriving from Earth. It's bringing food, water, new clothes, and presents and letters from his friends and family. Scott wears special trousers which have got lots of pockets. That's important because everything floats in space. Then he does some exercise. The astronauts have to do about 2 hours of exercise every day. They don't use their muscles much because there is very little gravity on the ISS, and so they can float everywhere. When the Dragon spacecraft arrives in the afternoon, Scott's crewmate Samantha uses a robot arm to pull the spacecraft onto the ISS. It's a long and difficult job. Finally, after a long day, Scott goes to sleep in his sleeping bag. What's he doing tomorrow? He'll find out when he reads his schedule.
Practice 1. Group work. What are the key points? What does Scott do every day? Why does he do exercise? How does the Dragon move? What does Scott do every day? He looks at his schedule first. He wears clothes with lots of pockets so things don't float. The Dragon spacecraft arrives with food, clothes, and presents. He does exercise every day for 2 hours. He sleeps in a sleeping bag. Why does he do exercise? Because zero gravity makes muscles weaker. How does the Dragon move? Samantha uses a robot arm to pull the spacecraft onto the ISS. Well done, my super students. Assessment 1. Read and choose the correct answer: T for true, F for false. Scott gets dressed when he gets up. There are astronauts in the Dragon spacecraft. Astronauts have to exercise every day. Moving the Dragon spacecraft towards the ISS is very quick. Scott is going back home tomorrow. Well done, my super students. Practice 2. Combine picture and text. Well done, my super students. Assessment 2. If your family sent you a present to the ISS, what would it be? They sent me a photo. They sent me a toy. They sent me chocolate. Well done, my super students. Exit ticket. Write the following. One fact I learned. One word I remember. A question I still have. One fact I learned. Astronauts exercise every day. One word I remember. Gravity. A question I still have. How do you become an astronaut? Homework. Write a short paragraph, at least 3 sentences, about Scott's day in space. Use the new words float, muscle, gravity, pull, sleeping bag. Example. Scott wakes up and checks his schedule. He does exercise every day because his muscles get weak without gravity. He can float everywhere inside the ISS, and at night he sleeps in a sleeping bag. Sometimes he helps the team pull the Dragon spacecraft using the robot arm. Challenge question. If you were an astronaut on the ISS, how could you help protect the Earth and use 21st century skills such as creativity, problem solving, and teamwork to make life in space more sustainable?
Step Up English. Like, share, subscribe.